It's very obvious to anybody who knows anything about these protests. They don't care about Israel. They care about flavor of the month, cause of the month. And as I've often described, when it comes to wokeness, there is no underlying moral ideology other than what we are is moral, period. If the hive decides Palestine is the issue, then the hive flocks to Palestine. All of a sudden, nobody cares about China. Nobody cares about, the Uyghur Muslims. Nobody cares about Sudan. Nobody cares about Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Afghanistan. It all just becomes Israel. And of course, we had George Floyd. It all just becomes Black Lives Matter. It all becomes trans rights. This is just another outpouring of young, blanket, woke leftism with no real cause. However, it does end up focusing on Israel, which pisses off the U.S. government and their foreign policy. And you end up with, I don't know, we got these weird calls from Democrats to shut down what they're calling anti-Jewish protests. And it definitely seems like a stretch, like they're the only way they can deal with this is to accuse them of being anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish. And while it is fair to say, there certainly are instances of anti-Semitism, which I will show you in a video. We have another instance. This is just general wokeness. It's general leftism. And I suppose the issue is, to kick it off, young people are on TikTok. TikTok was telling them, trans rights and feminism and Black Lives Matter. And the deep state and the Democrats really were totally fine with it. Republicans wanted to ban it. Then when it turned anti-Israel, and now wokeness has just like mindless zombies marched into the Israel argument, now all of a sudden TikTok's got to go. But I think that just shows, as we saw in that video of that young woman, when you go to these protests and ask, what are you protesting? They're like, I have no idea.
No, I think there is sort of a hive mind mentality. It's the buzzword, right? This is a trendy thing. I mean, I think these people picture themselves as saying to their grandchildren, well, when I was in college, we demonstrated for Gaza. Like that will be some badge of honor. It's the way that feminists in the past said, when I was in college, I, protested so that I could wear pants to class or whatever. Like it is the cause of the generation, right? It's trendy right now. But I don't know that any of them are as deeply committed as they think they might be. And I think that's why you would get these clips of people saying, I mean, the group that's leading a lot of this is called Divest Apartheid, and no one knows what that means. No one knows what they're talking about. Divest Apartheid? They're just like, we don't want you to spend money on this anymore. None of these students have an action plan. No one has a set of demands.
I'll break it down for you. Some kids are hanging out of college, and someone's like, hey, you want to go to the camp? Like, what's going on? It's like a party, dude. It's like Burning Man. And they're like, yeah, let's go. And so they bring a tent and they hang out because it's fun. And you ask them on camera, like, what are you protesting? They're like, I just think that we want NYU to, what are they doing? I don't know. I wish I knew. That's literally what they
were
said.
Like, we don't even go here. We go to Columbia, but we heard NYU is protesting, so we're in. And again, maybe they should have better sports teams so they can all camp out for tickets or something. Put this energy somewhere useful.
Sports are literally not are something that Gen Z is not interested in. We actually talked about that today or the other day on PCC. Gen Z is just not. They don't participate in sports. They're not interested in sports for whatever reason. So nowadays the social activity is activism.